Namaskar and a very good morning. Welcome to the audiocast from Kotak Securities. I'm your host and guide, Anindya Bannerjee. Western sanctions ke karan, the demand for Russian crude has gone down dramatically. It's not that the oil demand overall has gone down. Oil demand is still high, but the refiners and traders are shying away from lifting the Russian crude. And this is very, very dangerous sign. Why it's a dangerous sign? क्योंकि Russia is one of the top 3 producers of oil in the world. और आज in the current situation there is no other country in the world who can replace the missing barrels from Russia. मतलब Russia का alternative कोई नहीं है in the world at this point in time because the oil market supply is tight. तो जिसका reaction we are already seeing in the oil prices. कल oil jumped, for example, Brent crude jumped almost 12%. 109 के आसपास ये ट्रेड कर रहा है at this point in time. Highest level since 2014. All time high 2008 में फॉर्म हुआ था above $140 a barrel. So which is still some distance away. But अगर supply of oil from Russia gets impacted more and more, then the oil prices can aim for the all-time highs. Yes, it is. It can be a very negative development for the world economy, definitely for the Indian rupee, but that's a risk which remains alive. Especially, abhi the talk is on that the Western nations may actually embargo the oil supply from Russia because oil and gas continues to be the biggest foreign exchange earner for Russia. So they may go for a complete embargo of oil supply from Russia. This is a rumor at this point in time. Or the question is, if this rumor starts gaining momentum, then oil prices can spiral significantly higher. And we all know how negative that is for the Indian rupee. So, एक चीज़ of what we have seen over the last 1 month is that 2 things. One is, जैसे ऑप्शन प्रीमियम हैज़ जम्प्ड. जैसे ऑप्शन प्रीमियम जम्प्ड किसके लिए? क्योंकि बिकॉज द इम्प्लाइड वॉलेटिलिटी और डॉलर रुपी विक्स हैज़ जम्प्ड. और दूसरा चीज़, द इरेटिक नेचर इन द मार्केट, मतलब द बिग गैप्स. इंट्राडे गैप अप होता है, फिर देन इट पुल्स बैक, देन नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग अगेन वी सी अ बिग गैप अप. ये जो टेंडेंसी है, दैट may continue for some time till this kind of escalation risk remains in the world. तो ये situation में जहाँ पे VIX is very high and there are large opening gaps, वहाँ पे the best way to trade dollar rupee is through call spreads or put spreads. So basically option spreads. क्योंकि futures में you have run a very high risk of your stops getting hit because of this two-way volatility. Dusra, if you are selling options, you are going to get hit 2 ways. One, because the sudden gaps can go against you, opening gaps. Or dusra, the VIX is rising. So जब VIX rise करता है, it takes the option premium higher. तो इसके लिए option spreads are the effective way to trade in this kind of a market. Because we want to trade in the direction of the trend, क्योंकि जब तक oil prices are rising, the push is going to be upward for dollar rupee. इसलिए we have been preferring all through for the last 1 week or so call spreads, and that has worked out quite well. So I would continue to advocate that you can focus on call spreads. Now एक और important factor पे हम लोग को ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. Because volatility has now increased in dollar rupees significantly, तो RBI का intervention may continue at an aggressive pace because RBI doesn't like high volatility, and this is exactly what is happening in the market. तो उन लोगों का intervention will be quite high. अगर ऐसा है, then what will be the impact and how to play it? एक तो, as I said, focus on option spreads. So for example, call spreads to play on the upside. दूसरा, because of अगर RBI का इंटरवेंशन आता है, generally comes when the market is open between 9 and 5, तो which means हो सकता है कि गैप अप करे. जैसे आज 76 के आसपास मार्च फ्यूचर्स कैन स्टार्ट ट्रेडिंग, एंड देन लेट्स से ड्यू टू शॉर्ट कवरिंग इट pushes towards 76.10 क्योंकि 76.10 immediately एक बड़ा resistance है on the futures. तो उसके ऊपर अगर सस्टेन हुआ तो एक फर्दर पुश मिल सकता है टुवर्ड्स 76 हाफ. तो वो सिचुएशन में अगर आरबीआई आ जाता है देन द प्राइसेस आर गोइंग टू पुल बैक. सो एक पैटर्न व्हाट वी हैव सीन इज दैट इन दैट पुल बैक it is a good idea to enter into call spreads क्योंकि next day as long as the oil prices are rising it can do again a gap up opening. So pullback mein you can buy using call spreads. So that is one trade. Now what are the important levels? As I said 76.10 एक important resistance है, उसके बाद 76 half on the futures. Support will be जो मेजर सपोर्ट है अभी 75 हाफ के आसपास. तो इसके लिए फ्यूचर्स पे आप अगर लॉन्ग ट्रेड कर रहे हो तो स्टॉप लॉस विल बी प्रीटी वाइड बिकॉज बीच का कोई स्टॉप लॉस का उतना इंपॉर्टेंस है नहीं. तो 75 हाफ के नीचे अगर ये डॉलर रुपी क्लोज दे रहा है तो एक टेक्निकल डैमेज हो सकता है. तो जब तक वो फ्यूचर्स में क्लोज नहीं हो रहा है 75 हाफ के नीचे तब तक टेक्निकली द अप ट्रेंड इज साउंड. नाउ अपार्ट फ्रॉम डॉलर रुपी क्रॉस करेंसी में अगर आप ट्रेड कर रहे हो तो वॉलेटिलिटी विल बी इवन हायर दैन डॉलर रुपी. सो कीप दैट इन माइंड. जैसे येन INR एट दिस पॉइंट इन टाइम विल बी एक्सट्रीमली वॉलेटाइल बिकॉज ऑफ द चेंज इन द रिस्क सेंटिमेंट एवरी डे फ्रॉम bad to worse kind of a thing which is happening. So generally a worsening risk sentiment is positive for yen INR, but keep in mind avoid taking overnight positions now in yen INR or GBP or euro INR. Stick to intraday trades because yahan pe gaps are going to be pretty erratic and very large. So that's it folks, this is Anindya Bannerjee signing off. A fantastic day ahead.